'Cause what they want us to see, no, they could be neighbors dream. I need to know that when I failed, you'll still be here. Mm, excited. How y'all doing? Good morning. Welcome to the Faith and Fandom Feedback Friday podcast. So I get all that alliteration out of my throat. Hope y'all are doing well on this second girthy week of September as we are powering through the false fall into the summer and all the or out of the summer into the false fall and all the things. Just a week or so away from actual fall, so that's nice. But let's jump in. Let's get into some news. Let's talk about what's going on. But I hope y'all are doing good. I hope things have been good for you and that you've been encouraged, that you've had some good experiences that made you feel loved and welcomed and I'm seeing my little car light back there. Um Overall you're just in a place where uh you know that you're not alone, and that God loves you, and there are probably some people in this world that love you even if they kind of suck at it. But you're not alone. Glad we're here together. What's a community standard set? Do something wrong? Um they just give me a community standards little button there. I just want to make sure I'm not about to get arrested. I don't know that I've ever actually been put in the Facebook detention center, and I'd rather not. Good morning, Tristan. Uh, yeah, I would rather not be put in the place of uh community incarceration. So let's avoid that. I'm jumping right into stuff for today. Kendrick Lamar was announced to be performing at the Super Bowl halftime show this year. Um, which is cool. I get it. I get he's a big rapper. I get that he's had a lot of heat this year with Drake and all of those things. I don't know a single Kendrick Lamar song off the top of my head that I knew the lyrics to, or that I would even recognize it if I heard it. I bought one Kendrick Lamar album and just to try it. And I get that he's a good rapper, but I've never vibed with him. So this isn't the top tier choice for me personally. There's also some beef that Lil Wayne is getting punished by not getting to be in the Super Bowl because he said even a year ago that since the Super Bowl was going to be in his hometown that he wanted to be able to perform at it, and he said a year ago he hopes he does enough to be able to perform. And I don't know about y'all, but I know more Lil Wayne songs than I know Kendrick songs. And I'm sure that's not true for everybody, but it's true for me. Um, so it makes more sense, but I get it. There's politics, there's beef, there's things of that nature. And honestly, I'm a Panthers fan, so what does it even matter? Because I don't think I legally have a right to even speak on football these days as a Panthers fan. So because that first game apparently was really horrible. So yeah, um, Kendrick Lamar is going to be at the Super Bowl. That'll be cool. We'll get that. This is one of those like one of my favorite moments in the Super Bowl each year is watching the assembled people of my congregation or community that have gathered together to vibe out to the Super Bowl halftime show. Like the year it was like Eminem and Mary J. Blige and stuff, y'all, we were turning up. And I'm just picturing the people that have come to my Super Bowl party and they're just gonna be like, Nacho dip? Yes. Um, so we'll see how that goes. And yeah, there is a legal case uh that has taken place of something um gosh, I don't even know what to say here because I don't want to talk about it. Um Oh gosh. There is a case in Paris. I'm sorry, my volume was up on that. I'll turn it down. There's a case in Paris of a husband who was unhappy with his wife's unwillingness to do things beyond her desires in terms of relationships. And so he drugged her with lorazepam daily, um, and had horrible things done to her while she was drugged. I'm gonna leave that out because I try and keep this news broadcast as PG as possible, but like this is a story that literally broke my heart and kind of refreshed. Oh, people are evil, like evil, evil. Like, oh, y'all for real out here. And this story out of Paris is maybe one of the most modern evil things I've heard in terms of relationships. So, um, yeah, it's an evil, evil out here, y'all. But if you look up Paris husband drugged, you'll find this horrible story that I'm talking about, and it's the worst. Um, on a brighter note, Happy Gilmore 2 is filming. Yay. I debated the whole week because that the Paris story is one of the first things I saw over the weekend. And I'm like, do I even want to talk about this? This is horrendous. This is the worst. And I don't know, man. It was just really bad. So yeah, the Paris story. Um, in other news, there has been a moderate amount of debate and negative criticism in response to the hiring of Emily Armstrong to replace Chester Bennington with Lincoln Park. But there's also not just that, their drummer has stepped away, saying the original drummer saying that he wanted to be distanced from the band, so they have a new drummer, and their guitarist is going to help in the studio and write the music and record the music, but he will not tour with the band. So someone else is going to be playing the guitar. So realistically, you're down to well, half or less than half of the band is still the band. Which then puts stuff in question. But some stuff came up about Emily Armstrong almost immediately after their live stream and announcement last week, specifically that when Emily Armstrong was a friend to Danny Masterson and went to his first court appearance, she since then released a statement stating that she was supporting a friend who she didn't know had done evil things and that she in no way condones it, and that's fine. You know, we get it. We support our people even when they're guilty, even if we don't know they're guilty. But you know, she caught heat for that. She also caught a lot of heat for the fact that she apparently has been born and raised in Scientology, which is another red flag for a lot of folks when it comes to things. And so there's that. Then later in the week, Chester Bennington's son, the son of the original lead singer of Linkin Park, um, took to the internet to let Mike Shinoda know that he does not support Emily as the new lead singer, for the reasons of Danny Masterson, for the reasons of Scientology, and for the fact that they appear, by his perspective, are trying to erase his father's legacy. And um and I get that. I get why he might feel that way. And he did attend the first concert, not the like live stream one, like the first tour stop. And so I haven't heard his commentary since he attended the concert, but he did address, but Mike did address during the concert that they were in no way trying to erase the past or erase Chester. They were just trying to move forward with a new chapter. So that's the thing. If you are a wrestling fan, you might be a little bit sad at some of the transitions that are currently going on between now and the end of the year because SmackDown which has been on Fox for the longest time, which means you could watch it on Hulu, has now moved to USA along with Monday Night Raw. While Monday Night Raw you can watch on Hulu from USA, you cannot currently watch SmackDown on Hulu from USA unless you have the live streaming TV package, which not everybody does because that's expensive. So you might not be able to watch SmackDown. Hopefully that's going to be something that gets resolved, but either way, Raw moves to Netflix in January, advertising a no longer PG show, and that they are going to have a 2 hour SmackDown that will provide more entertainment. If you do watch wrestling on Hulu or you watch it in streaming, the actual show of SmackDown is three or of Raw is 3 hours long, but you get an hour and a half of it after commercial breaks and everything else. So, um, if you care, it's kind of a jambalaya right now. Do do do. Earlier this week, the legendary James Earl Jones passed, the voice of Darth Vader, Mufasa, the guy from The Sandlot, and tons of brilliant Broadway and serious movies that the rest of our culture isn't as turned on to as the fact that he was Darth Vader. Uh, James Earl Jones was stated even within the last year or so saying that his greatest honor was narrating the Bible when he recorded an audio Bible, and that he had a practicing faith in Jesus. That he converted to Catholicism during his military career, but he had a belief and love of Jesus, and narrating the Bible was the favorite thing he ever did. So take that, Darth Vader, but he's Darth Vader. Uh, and in news with that, if you're not aware, about 2 or 3 years ago, James Earl Jones saw, his time coming, and so he signed a deal. Um, oh, you now need to find this, Tristan. You can literally get the entire Bible read to you by James Earl Jones. Um, it's pretty dope. Um, I don't know, man. That's just like I'd get lost in that, in a good way. But James Earl Jones signed his voice rights over to Disney, ah, that they can continue to use his voice as Darth Vader, indefinitely. And so rather than recasting or re-recording anything, sorry, I'm trying to adjust the bright light. Rather than recasting or recording anything, um, they will simply digitally uh use James Earl Jones' existing voice to create new lines, new dialogue if they need to for Darth Vader. So if you hear that in the future, don't be outraged. James Earl Jones signed off on this and he approved it, and it's going to be okay, even though it may be a little bit off and weird later down the road. He did approve it. On to somebody who potentially did not approve their stuff. Um, Peter Cushing, who played Tarkin in the Star Wars universe. You may also know him as Dracula at one point in time, and for a while he was Doctor Who. I know what I'm saying. Don't worry, I'm not getting it wrong. In the 60s and 70s, the Daleks were one of the biggest things in the world, and they wanted to be able to make Dalek stories without having to worry about the Doctor Who confusing timeline or messing up the show or things like that. So they created a character called Doctor who is not the Doctor. It's literally a doctor with a doctorate who makes his own TARDIS and then flies around the world fighting Daleks. Um, and it was a decent show. If you ever see shirts at Walmart or anything like that or Target that say Doctor Who and the Daleks, that's what it is. That's how you know the distinction. If they're advertising with DR period, it's Peter Cushing. If it's Doctor spelled out, it's the Time Lord. So there's that. Either way, Peter Cushing passed away a number of years back. They recreated Peter Cushing's Tarkin in Rogue One. Now, a long-term friend of Peter Tarkin or Peter Cushing is suing Disney over recreating Peter Cushing in Rogue One, stating that he left rights to his friend that they could not recreate him without his friend's permission. Now, I don't know about you. I get it if it's a spouse, a child, or something like that. But man, that would be pretty hard to find out. Yo, my one homie from the block has legal permission to recreate me. So they are in legal proceedings, and it looks like it's gone deep enough into the world of legal matters that Disney is actually going to have to fight this or pay for this. Um, but Peter Cushing, um, was, it was nice to see him in Rogue One. He played a big part, in that capacity of just the fact that he existed. Uh, but they are being sued for it. Back to Star Wars real quick. One they A lot of people paid tribute to James Earl Jones when he passed. One of the coolest ways I saw was that they put Darth Vader on the side of the Empire State Building, in video format, which was pretty dope. Oh, let's see. In a sad note, uh not only on the day that James Earl Jones died, he was not the only celebrity that died. One of the best in the comic book industry in terms of artists and creators, John Cassidy, also passed away at the age of 52 on the same day, just a few hours after James Earl Jones, at least in terms of news publication. John Cassidy did Joss Whedon's Astonishing X-Men run, which is, in my opinion, the best collected X-Men story series. He also did the entire original book series Planetary. Um, and his artwork is stunning. It's beautiful. It's very distinct. You've seen John Cassidy art, whether you knew it or not. And but he passed away at the age of 52. Back to the Super Bowl for a second. Nicki Minaj went on a tirade publicly denouncing Jay-Z. Um, and saying that Lil Wayne is being punished from being performing at the Super Bowl because of their relationship with Birdman, and it's all a twisted route to get to punish Jay-Z or to punish Lil Wayne because of Drake and Nicki Minaj and Birdman. It's a whole complicated contract relationship thing that went down, but Nicki Minaj is saying that Jay-Z is punishing Lil Wayne or punishing them through Lil Wayne by not having Lil Wayne perform at the Super Bowl. Now, I think we still might get Lil Wayne performing at the Super Bowl, just because it is his hometown. I think people are gonna, fight for it. But there we go. This week, yesterday, in fact, technically today, The Killer's Game, an action movie where a hitman puts out a hit on his own life after losing the love of his life, kind of like a forced John Wick scenario. It stars Dave Bautista, but also it is the cinematic premiere of Drew McIntyre, the Scottish wrestler. It technically premiered tonight, but today. Also on that note, uh, Dave Bautista, Jason Momoa, and Mana Bakarin, who played Inara on Firefly and Vanessa in Deadpool. And she was also Leslie Tompkins in Gotham and a million other things. But Momoa, Batista, and Bakarin are joining a new movie called The Wrecking Crew. It's an action comedy from Amazon Studios that will be something that will be coming out. Um, if you were not aware, the world kind of came to a screeching halt of geekdom over some allegations that have been made against Neil Gaiman. Neil Gaiman has been a stalwart contributor to the nerd world for most of my lifetime, from things like Coraline to Sandman to Good Omens to Doctor Who to lots of things. and he has been accused of assault, um, which has halted production on Good Omens season three, um, in preparation for it, and it also may stall the release of Sandman season two on Netflix. Gaiman has offered to step out and let go of his role in Good Omen season three if it will help the production go on as this whole thing is moving forward, and he hopes it's cleared up. Uh, Flavor Flav a while back set out. There's two Flavor Flav stories this week. That's great. Um, Flavor Flav set out a while back to um single-handedly save Red Lobster from going bankrupt. If you weren't aware, Red Lobster kind of shot itself in the foot with their endless shrimp and stuff like that, and they were going bankrupt because of how much money they lost doing buffet style shrimp and things. They were going bankrupt, and Flavor Flav, it's his favorite place, and so he said no, he's not going to let it happen. And he campaigned and he advertised and things like that, and it is now official that Flavor Flav has brought them back from bankruptcy. Um, because the time is now. And so just every time you bite into a Cheddar Bay biscuit, you need to internally be thinking Flavor Flav because he did that for you. The voice actor who was Master Splinter in the original animated series from Ninja Turtles has passed away. Peter Renaday. He passed away at the age of 89. And still, to me, in my head, when I hear Splinter in comic books, I either hear him or the voice from the 1989 movie. So there's that. But yeah, there was air quotes fake news this week that Across the Spider-Verse had been delayed and shelved and potentially delayed indefinitely, or Beyond the Spider-Verse, the third part in the Spider-Verse series. Christopher Miller, who is the writer for the franchise, came out and spoke to clear out and say that that is shenanigans. It is not delayed. It is debunked, and don't believe anybody who's telling you that. So the writer of the movie said that's not true. Don't listen to that. That's hogwash. So there you go. Spider-Verse is not delayed. In casting news for things that were not on my cinematic bingo card, Bad Bunny, the Latino rapper slash actor slash professional wrestler at times, has officially joined the cast of Happy Gilmore 2. Now, I think my first time actually seeing Bad Bunny was in Bullet Train, then shortly followed by WWE. And I have yet to listen to a Bad Bunny song or watch a Bad Bunny movie or a Bad Bunny music video, but I think he'll be able to do it. Hollywood is apparently looking for a 60-ish, uh, early 60s actor to play Hal Jordan in the Green Lantern TV series that will be on HBO Max, which Jonathan Stewart will end up being the main character, but they need an older, stalwart Hal Jordan. Josh Brolin was originally positioned for the role, or what's the word? He was propositioned. He was offered the role. Josh Brolin was offered the role of Hal Jordan and has turned it down. And names like Ewan McGregor, Matthew McConaughey, um, Christian Bale, that era are being offered the same role. So I don't know who's going to be Hal Jordan. It is going to be interesting to see an older take on Hal Jordan, but yeah, that's it. Selena Gomez officially became a billionaire this year. The actress and musician became a billionaire through her profits on several things, but she is not a billionaire because of music or TV. She is officially a billionaire because of her product line of makeup, Rare Beauty, has pushed her over the top, where she went from a moderate amount of sales to booming. So Rare Beauty has pushed her into the billionaire club. So that's fun. Oh, if you are a Pokemon Go fan, they have released new content in the games this week. They're introducing Max Energy and Dynamax Pokemon, which is a whole new gym battling system where you don't have to battle through a bunch of Pokemon. You battle one giant Pokemon, and then you get to put your Pokemon up. You collect energy, your Pokemon transforms into a giant kaiju, and you fight. So that's fun. It's breathed a little bit of life into the gym system of the game. I caught myself driving place to place to battle some of these things because they're quick and easy and a little bit of fun with that. So if you haven't played Pokemon Go in a while, this might be a fun time for you to do it. Um, on terms of living on a prayer, John Bon Jovi um saved a lady's life this week. Um as we mentioned last week, and I'll keep mentioning all month, September is suicide awareness month, suicide prevention awareness, and it's hard out there. And I get that it's hard out there and you might be struggling, but please know you're not alone. If you need help, talk to somebody that you care about, or dial 988, or text or call or chat or email 988 to get help if you are struggling or you are alone. There are people who care about you and you're not alone. But in Nashville, Tennessee this week, a young lady had climbed over the edge of a bridge um, to potentially uh, end her life on the John Siegenthaler pedestrian bridge. And she was climbing over the edge to jump. And people had tried to talk to her and it wasn't working. And then all of a sudden, John Bon Jovi shows up and talks this lady literally off the ledge. The city of Nashville gave John Bon Jovi a commendation for it. But that's one thing, you just you're in the middle of having a life crisis and a celebrity rolls up and like just rescues you. It's pretty neat. But that happened in Nashville this week. The Community movie is slowly moving forward. The sitcom movie starring Donald Glover, um, Joe McHale, and his assorted cast is moving forward. They have now been granted tax credits to shoot in California soon. Joe McHale is slowing things down for people. He did just take a role in the Yellow Jackets, but it is coming. Kendrick again, back into the conversation, dropped a new song and gave an encouraging shout out to Lecrae in the song, and as well as D1. So Kendrick's new song features a mention of Lecrae and in a positive light, so that's good. In Sony Verse news, they dropped a new trailer for Venom 3, The Last Dance this week. And in doing so, they revealed the big bad of the movie. Um, which honestly, if you threw away Carnage so quickly, I don't know what you're gonna do with this guy, because Carnage really should have been your bread and butter. But Null, the lowercase g god of the symbiotes, who looks like a venomized Witcher, has been revealed to be the villain of Venom: The Last Dance. He recently had a big turnaround in the comics and a thing where he basically took on the entire MCU, or not MCU, the entire Marvel universe almost to a standstill. This dude is a Thanos level baddie. But he might only be in this one Venom movie and then gone forever. So we'll see what they do with that. Because Marvel can't use characters that Sony uses without permission. So it's a whole weird thing. It came out last week, but I don't know if I mentioned it. Disney's pop punk album has officially dropped. A whole new sound featuring covers of classic Disney songs from people like Plain White Tees, um, Newfound Glory, and there's a whole slew of all the pop punk people you know. It is on streaming services. It's 12 songs, 34 minutes long, but it covers stuff from Aladdin, uh, Coco, Encanto, Lion King. So there's it's just a nice little pop punk banger. So if you enjoy pop punk music, the sounds of the crisp early 2000s and Disney, this is for you, a whole new sound. It does have a banger version of Eye to Eye from a Goofy movie. I listened to the whole album at work yesterday and it was fun. It was good. Eminem performed Houdini and Somebody Save Me to kick off the 2024 MTV Movie Awards or Video Music Awards. Sorry, Video Music Awards. Bringing in an army of cloned mashup Slim Shadys with the blonde hair and the beard before he went on to duet with a video of Jelly Roll, doing Somebody Save Me in a more serious light. And he also got I forgot what the award was, kind of the Vanguard or Lifetime Achievement or whatever it was, because that night was 25 years since Eminem won his Moon Man for Best New Artist. Lived long enough to see going Eminem going from Best New Artist to Lifetime Achievement. I'm old because I legitimately watched Eminem get that Best New Artist award all those years ago. Um so I'm old, and that's part of what's happening these days. But he did win that. Chapel Roan won Best New Artist this year and also gave a big Joan of Arcish level performance with it. Taylor Swift won something with Post Malone, and with her award was presented to her by Flavor Flav, who went on to declare his Swiftiness with it. Um, Also on Eminem news, the Death of Slim Shady Coup de Grace Expanded Mourners Edition was released today. So an extended cut of the Death of Slim Shady album. Y'all, for someone who actually purchases their music, because I purchase all my albums, I don't just stream them. As someone who purchases music, I'm a wee bit tired of extended albums because you buy the album, then you basically got to buy it again if you want it. Or you can just buy those songs, but usually buying those songs is more expensive than the album. So cut it out, Judah and the Lion and Slim Shady. Ewan McGregor got his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame this week. Um, and he was joined at the presentation by Anakin Skywalker, Hayden Christensen, um, and where Hayden concluded his speech by saying that that Obi-Wan or Ewan McGregor was the best Jedi Master anyone could hope for. And so they had a touching moment on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. There's a new show coming from CBS called The Summit. It's a reality TV show, which sounds like a horrible life choice, where 16 people are going to be climbing New Zealand Alps together to win a cash prize. Y'all, I like hiking. I love hiking. I like hiking mountains. It's a great thing. But trying to do it with a camera and relational drama and having to stop to pause to film segments and things just sounds like an exhausting ordeal that I would not want to endure. But the summit is dropping on CBS soon. A magnitude 4.7 earthquake hit hit north of Malibu on Thursday morning, and was captured on live TV on the facility. There's there Flavor Flav. If you are a Bridgerton fan, Yaren Ha has officially been cast as Benedict's season 4 love interest. I've not seen Bridgerton. I don't know that I'm going to see Bridgerton. Um, but I hope y'all are happy. The PS5 Pro has been announced at $700 for the PS5 Pro. Um, and they're saying they have the ability to hike up the cost because there's no competition. So not only do they have an overpriced system, they have an abundance of the audacity. Y'all insulting Xbox without even mentioning them. How dare you? Um, Flappy Bird is officially coming back for the first time in 10 years. The game which took the internet and cell phones and everything, tablets and such by storm 10 years ago and has been officially removed from stores, has now and is now coming back in 2025. No comment yet from the original creator of his involvement, but it is an expanded game with lots of things, and not just a fun little deal. So that is coming. But the original creator Dong Yin has not commented on this return yet. Uh, in Japan, a real life Team Rocket stole $70,000 worth of Pokemon cards. A couple of folks, a duo of folks in Japan, walked into a trading card store and asked the employees which ones were the most valuable, and then stole them. Um, they literally asked the staff to point out which ones are most valuable, and then just stole them. Um, Crime's not funny, but picturing people literally pulling a Team Rocket level crime at a Pokemon shop does make me giggle. Um, if you're familiar with games like Stray, uh, Anna Annapurna, which is a video game studio, um, uh, the president of Annapurna Studios and all of the staff quit over a dispute with the founder, Megan Ellison. So Megan Ellison, who is the president or who is the founder and the president of the company, got into an argument, and the entire staff of that studio quit. So if you're a video game developer, there might be some openings, but that's also a really sad situation. Also, in terms of sad situations in video games, Microsoft laid off another 650 employees, which brings Xbox's total layoff to 2,500 people lost their jobs since the Activision Blizzard purchase. There was drama this week with the Miami Dolphins. Um, Wide receiver Tyreek Hill as he was detained by police in a video footage that shows aggressively and potentially unmerited. I don't know what words I'm supposed to say because it's an ongoing, allegedly, potentially, whatever. He got pulled out of his car in a real rough manner, and he wants those cops fired. And it's all on video camera if you want to see it. But his thing is, what would have happened if it was somebody other than a celebrity being treated that way? So there's that. Um, I told you a story I told you the shell of a story about someone in Paris and maybe the potentially most evil thing I've heard of in a very, very long time. Um, on a second most evil, and this one involves murder, but I still feel like the first one might be more evil. Um, a former Miss Switzerland, Christina Joksimovic, um, allegedly was murdered by her husband and then pureed in a blender to try and hide the evidence, and it didn't all work. Jinkies, y'all, we can do some really horrible stuff as people, and that's just insanity. I still think the Pear story is worse, and even what I just said is bad, but it's not as bad as what actually went down on the Pear story. Um, the world's most monstrous bodybuilder, the biggest dude in bodybuilding, a dude called the Mutant, has passed away at age 36 of a heart attack. The mutant is a bulky dude, could literally play the Hulk without CGI, just some green spray paint, but he has passed away. Um, yeah, that is a new one. Um, it's a whole thing, dude. I can't believe people people in like this. It's just the worst. And also, uh, in things I didn't expect to see, hear, or say, a female jogger was attacked and hospitalized by a vicious gang of otters. Otters. A woman was jogging, and more than a dozen otters tackled her and started biting her and left her wounded before she was hospitalized. Yo, how broken is our world that even otters, the cute little things that hold hands when they sleep, just be ganking pedestrians? I'm not laughing at that. I'm just the word choices were stupid. Um, but literally, a gang of otters hospitalized a female jogger. Um, she looked okay after the attack, minus the wounds, but jinkies. Um, in North Korea, things, are North Korea-ish, right? Lynn Lynn says she has enough things to worry about, to work about. She has enough things to work about while jogging. Now otters, like literally, I would if because here's the deal: if it was me, if I'm just out, uh, you just want to cry and rock in the corner now. Yeah, it's the world, dude. Uh, Tristan says he just wants to cry and rock in the corner, and I get that completely. But here's the deal: if it was me, if I'm out jogging, enjoying nature, headphones in, and I see a whole herd of otters coming towards me, you know what I'm going to do? Hey, little guys, I'm bending down. I'm thinking I'm about to get like the best little hugs in the world, not get like mauled. So that's a thing. Um, North Korea is up to new levels of North Koreaing, where um kids are being punished, imprisoned, and publicly shamed for listening to K-pop. Um, where they have to publicly be brought before a group of the military and denounce their impure, like sinful, for lack of better terms, propaganda that they have been allowing into their ears, eyes, and hearts. For some of them who distributed K-pop are actually being put to death. These are teenagers, these are kids, these are young ladies and dudes that just enjoy pop music and are literally being publicly shamed and facing imprisonment and slash or death. Um, y'all, I just wanted to make a happy little news show, and the world sucks. It's so bad. That this is a thing. Um, you know, the worst we had was Footloose in that story, but these people are literally going to it for listening to South Korean pop music. Um, and we gotta do better, y'all. We gotta do better. Um, and listen, I'm all for grace. I am all for people getting second chances. I am all for redemption. That is literally my bread and butter. That is what I live for. But I don't always like it sometimes in certain circumstances. Justin Timberlake has officially avoided drunk driving charges after pleading guilty to a traffic violation. So he's going to completely bypass all DUI charges and just have to pay for a traffic violation between $300 and $500. Drunk driving is serious. It's a big deal. And I'm not saying I need the man to go face jail time, But, when you're in the public eye like that, I feel like it's a hard thing just to see people just like literally walk away from dangerous situations. Um, I hope he learns from it. I hope we all learn from it. I hope people make better life choices that don't endanger others. But absolutely a thing. Um, yeah. Dave Grohl, just skipping it. Not gonna take my time on that one. Um, Pharrell Williams, in a good display of grace this week, was premiering his new Lego documentary, um, biopic, and his premiere, which he was at, which he was on stage for, was interrupted by a PETA protester who um was saying that he's responsible for the killing of animals for fashion. And security did remove the protester, but instead of being ugly about it, instead of being mean, Pharrell said, "Hey, God bless you," and he had the entire audience tell the woman, "God bless you," and it was nice. It was a good, encouraging moment. Good job, Pharrell. Um, I haven't seen the movie because it's not out yet, but apparently Pharrell puts a lot of focus on God in his story and the encouragement that comes with that. So there's that. In a moment of the world isn't completely on fire, Kamala Harris and former President Trump shook hands at the 9/11 event without being mean. So good job, guys. We can growing up together. Um, while all of the stuff involving Sean P. Diddy Combs is still unfolding, he has been officially ordered to pay a $100 million charge um, to Cordello Smith, who is actually serving time in the Ernest C. Brooks Correctional Facility um, for an assault that took place 27 years ago, and enough evidence was found to for P. Diddy to have to pay $100 million to a dude who's in prison. Um, if you are in a bad enough place with your life that you have to pay $100 million to a dude who's actually already in prison, that's a lot of life choices of things going down. Um, Also sad news. I gotta end with some happier stuff because this is depressing as all get out. Um, there's body cam footage of police officers that went to the Georgia school shooter's house a while ago to ask about potential threats and things, and the dad played it off, and the dad, but there's literally a moment long before anybody was hurt where the cops were literally at this kid's house and nothing was done and nothing changed, which just kind of makes everything a little bit sadder and a little bit worse. Um, Tom Brady began his 10-year, $375 million deal with Fox Sports as their lead analyst on Sunday, but less than 20 minutes into his broadcast, people were asking for him to be let go, were criticizing his journalist skills, were um, just kind of tearing him apart. Um, and so he definitely got off to a rocky start. Um, and which honestly probably is kind of a new thing to be that rough at something. Um, People not actually enjoy you. So, um, and positive news, yay, positive news. Um, the royal family, the Princess of Wales, has announced that she is through with her chemo treatments and that she is continuing on with getting healthy and moving forward with her fight with cancer. So she's officially finished all of her chemo. They were really quiet about that for a while, but they did a video with the whole family out in nature, and it's sweet. But yeah, she finished with her chemotherapy. Um, Elon Musk is on track to become the world's first trillionaire. Trillion. Um, At his current rate of finances, if things don't go sideways for Elon Musk, he will be a trillionaire by 2027. There you go. In 3 years, if things don't go sideways, he'll be a trillionaire by 2027. Um, YouTuber slash TikToker, Nick Ocado Avocado. Yes, Nick Ocado Avocado was a YouTuber and TikToker who was famous for mukbang videos. I cannot. Lynn says she cannot fathom that amount of money. Neither can I. That's one of the things. Like literally speaking, won't live long enough to count that money. How long will it take to count to a trillion? Um, at $1 per second, it would take 31,000 years to count to a trillion. At $1 per second, it would take 31,000 years to count to a trillion. This dude literally could not live long enough to count this money. He couldn't even count it. Here's the deal. I like financial security sometimes when I have it. I like, stuff, but like having more money than you could physically count is just baffling to me. But yeah. YouTuber Nick Avocado, who is famous for mukbang videos, which are videos of people gorging themselves on large amounts of food thrown together in a bowl. He was famous for his, gluttonous videos of that nature. Um, Rick rolled the entire world because what he was uploading were old videos, and he recorded a bunch of content at once and released it slowly over 2 years. And during that 2 year span, he was losing an incredible amount of weight. He dropped 250 pounds in 2 years, and then just rickrolled the entire world by showing up, live saying, "I'm 2 steps ahead of everyone." So he was literally the day before he dropped the video was facing criticism for his gluttony, for his unhealthy life choices, et cetera, et cetera. Um, and then just premiered to say, "Psych, I already lost all this weight. Peace out." Um, as Lil Wayne said, real killers move in silence. Um, Ricky Pearsall, who is a 49ers football player, um, was shot in, I mentioned this last week, he was shot uh near point blank range in a robbery. Um, and he was given a 2 in 100 chance of surviving the gunshot wound, and he totally was out like in no time flat. And he credits God for shielding him and protecting him, and giving God all the glory for the fact that he's alive in a situation where he should be dead. So there's that. The father of the Georgia school shooter has been charged with second-degree murder following his arrest for facilitating and allowing his son to be in that place. He's been charged with second-degree murder. Um, and another series of bad life choices. Hawk Colony High School's um principal was suspended and has been demoted after doing a sassy dance with and to the school mascot in the middle of the school assembly. Y'all, I make stupid choices all the time, but no, that's bad. Um, Hunter Biden has officially pleaded guilty to all 9 charges in his federal tax evasion case. Unsurprising thing, left prosecutors weren't even hey, Parrish, good morning. Um, but he Hunter Biden pleaded guilty to all 9 charges. and that he intentionally avoided paying $1.4 million in income tax from 2016 and 2019. Um, so he pleaded guilty to those things and is calling it a day with it. Um, you know, that's a real thing that happens. There's also been a lot of other stuff that went on this week. it- LL Cool J released a new album where he also featured Eminem, which is an interesting thing. With that, I had my little mini Comic Con at my church or with my church last week, and it turned out well. Some good encouragement and stuff went down with that, so grateful for it. My daughters and I are going to see 21 Pilots tonight. So super pumped for that. My youngest daughter saw them uh 8, 9, 18, 19, 17, somewhere in there. My youngest daughter saw them when she was like 4, and all she remembers was confetti. So I'm excited for her to get that experience tonight. So yeah, that's kind of the news of things overall. I had a little bit of time to write this week. Um, now that my mini con is over, I'm looking forward to trying to actually do a little bit more writing and get some more stuff done in that capacity. I've stopped watching One Piece because the last thing I watched is something I want to write about, and I don't want to like lose the thought train that I have with it. So I'm waiting for that, but I'm writing another chapter before I write that one. So gonna get through that. But it's been good. Good stuff has been happening with that. Let's do our Bible reading for the day. If you want to be part of that, I'm going to pull out the dice tower here and see what we're going to read today. I need little music that plays like, you know, when Veggie Tales was about to do a Bible verse. They always said, you know that we have learned applies to our lives today. God has a lot to say in his book. Um, I need like music for that. Y'all can just sing along at home. Um, there's also a Brave Saint. You're just a little jealous. What are you jealous of, Tristan? Oh, the 21 Pilots thing? It's a 10. No, it's an 8. I am not nerdy enough to know all the dice shapes yet. All right, working on it. All right, so I am rolling 70 in dice as it needs to. Because we know that God's word is for everyone. Now that our song is done, we'll take a look. I'm rolling 70 in dice to pick out which book of the Bible we're going to read from. There are 66 books in the Bible. By subtracting 4 from the 70, we can make sure we can pick, all the way through it. So I'm going to roll 70 in dice and then subtract 4, and that's what we're going to read. All right. Let's watch me math poorly. Yeah, 21 Pilots, dude. It's an undertaking, because we had to get tickets in March or April. Um, and they were for a present for my daughter's birthday in May. So we said, hey, we're going, but it's in September. So it's been a whole long process. But we're all going to be on the floor, which is going to be cool for her. So 18 plus 12 plus 4. What are you? Are you a 6? You're a 6. 6, which is 40 minus 4. It's 36. Um, so the 36th book in the Bible is where we're going to read from to start with. Pull these dice out of here. Shink. All right, there are 39 books in the Bible, or in the Old Testament. So we'll just count back 3. So 39, 38, 37, 36. Zephaniah, 12:05. Didn't we just do Zephaniah? Yeah, we did. Oh no, we did Habakkuk or something. Um, Zephaniah, and there are one, two, three chapters in Zephaniah. All right, so with that, we're gonna roll a six-sided die, and for uh 1 and 2 will be 1, 3 and 4 will be 2, 5 and 6 will be 3. There we go. 5. So we're gonna read Zephaniah chapter 3 is the roll for initiative scripture for the day. So once I move these dice out of the way, I'm gonna read Zephaniah chapter 3. I just love the sound these makes though, dude. Like if that's so cool. All right. Got this dice tower out of the way. Oh, for all the ASMR people that are just hearing dice fall in the audio. Oh, by the way, this is a Ted Lasso soccer ball dice, which is pretty cool. All right. Zephaniah chapter 3. And because I'm gonna pull out a highlighter and a pencil because my brain's not gonna let me do this without that. I got a pencil out here. There's one. Sweet. All right. Zephaniah chapter 3. Uh, here we go. Zephaniah 3, beginning in verse 1, reading through verse 20. Woe to the city of oppressors, rebellious and defiled. She obeys no one, she accepts no correction. She does not trust the Lord, she does not draw near to the Lord. Her officials within her are roaring lions. Her rulers are evening wolves who leave nothing for the morning. Evening wolves literally just makes me think of a wolf in like a nice little three-piece suit. You know, like in the trailer for that animated film, The Bad Guys. That's what I picture with evening wolves. That's not bad. My little easily distracted brain. Here is my evening wolf sketch to go with this verse, which will be in my head forever now. All right. But uh her officials, her officials are roaring lions, her rulers are evening wolves who leave nothing for the morning. Her prophets are unprincipled. They are treacherous people. Her priests profane the sanctuary and do violence to the law. The Lord within her is righteous. He does no wrong. Morning by morning he dispenses his justice, and every day he does not fail, yet the unrighteous know no shame. Mm. The Lord within her is righteous. He does no wrong. Morning by morning he dispenses justice. Every new day he does not fail, yet the unrighteous know no shame. Verse 6, under the heading Jerusalem remains unrepentant. I have destroyed nations. Their strongholds are demolished. I have left their streets deserted with no one passing through. The cities are laid to waste. They are deserted and empty. Of Jerusalem, I thought, surely you will fear me and accept correction. Then her place of refuge would not be destroyed, not nor all my punishment come upon her. But they were eager to act corruptly in all they did. That sounds familiar. Uh, Verse 8 says, They wait, therefore wait for me, declares the Lord. For the day I will stand up to testify. I have decided to assemble nations, to gather the kingdoms, and pour out wrath on them in my fierce anger. The whole world will be consumed by fire of my jealous anger. Under the heading Restoration of Israel's Remnant, verse 9, Then I will purify the lips of the people, that all of them may call on the name of the Lord and serve him shoulder to shoulder. That's an interesting term, shoulder to shoulder. I don't know that I've heard it put like that before. Shoulder to shoulder. Verse 10 says, From beyond the rivers of the Cush, my worshippers, my scattered people will bring me offerings. On that day, Jerusalem will not put me to shame for all the wrongs you have done to me, because I will remove you from your arrogant boasters. Never again will you be haughty on my holy hill. But I will leave you within the meek and humble. The remnant of Israel will trust in the name of the Lord. They will do no wrong. They will tell no lies. A deceitful tongue will not be in their mouths. They will eat and lie down, and no one will make them afraid. Here for that. They will do no wrong. They will tell no lies. A deceitful tongue will not be found in their mouths. They will eat and lie down, and no one will make them afraid. Verse 14, Sing, daughter Zion. Shout aloud, Israel. Be glad and rejoice with all your heart, daughter Jerusalem. The Lord has taken away your punishment and has turned back your enemy. The Lord, King of Israel, is with you. Never again will you fear any harm. On that day, they will say to Jerusalem, Do not fear Zion. Do not let your hands hang limp. The Lord your God is with you, the mighty warrior who saves. He will take great delight in you. In his love, he will no longer rebuke you, but rejoice over you with singing. I've got a worship song from like 2006 that is an exact quote of that. What is that? There's that song. It's not City on a Hill, but it's a song. He will rejoice over you with singing. Rejoice. That's a song based on this one. I can find it in my music library, but either way, it's a good song. Let me go back to finishing the scripture. Um, Buenos dias, mi amigos. Hey, Josh. Hope you're doing well, man. Verse 18 says, I will remove from you all who mourn over the loss of your appointed festivals, which is a burden and reproach for you. Um, there are literally people we can be in a place where we'll mourn over the things that God removes from our own health. And that's a hard time. All the time, at that time, I will deal with all those who oppressed you. I will rescue the lame. I will gather the exiles. I will give them praise and honor in every land where they have suffered shame. At that time, I will gather you. At that time, I will bring you home. I will give you honor and praise among the people of the earth when I restore your fortunes before your eyes. At that time, I will gather you. At that time, I will bring you home. I will give you honor and praise among the people of the earth when I restore your fortunes before my very eyes, before your very eyes. All right, so that was our roll for initiative scripture reading. Rolling dice to see where we're reading for the day, and I'll leave this out because I got some more work to do there. But I want to say thanks for taking the time to join me. I got to go be a moderate adult with stuff going on the rest of the day. Go work my muggle job for a little bit and get packed for my daughter's weekend. It's my daughter's what do you call it? Parent weekend at her school in Durham. So I'm gonna go visit her after. We're gonna go get her for the 21 Pilots concert and then do school activities on Saturday. So that'll be fun. But thanks for taking time to listen, for letting me be part of your morning. If you're watching this on Facebook Live or YouTube, you can always listen to this on the audio format over at faithandfandom.podbean.com. If you're listening to this, you can always watch it over at Faith and Fandom on Facebook or YouTube, along with other stuff. I had a good amount of podcast recording this week. I did an episode with David Probus for Love Thy Nerd, who is a cosplayer, and we talked about cosplaying disability, which is neat. So that'll be dropping on Love Thy Nerd today. I recorded the Pull-Ups podcast with Todd Turner yesterday. So that'll be dropping I believe on Wednesday. And so lots of good stuff coming around. I want to take a moment to thank our Patreon supporters for being fantastical and for helping out all the ways that you do. Alicia Glenn, I've got an envelope of stickers that are getting mailed to you today, as well as the Coleman family. If y'all are listening to this as well, I got stickers for y'all that are coming. I want to take a moment to thank our Patreon supporters, David Brooks, Jeff Weimer, who I just mailed you 2 books yesterday too, Jeff, because I'm slacking. Colin Sproles, Jamie Montgomery, the Coleman family, Jonathan Herman, Ron Petit, Gear Saber Cosplay, Scott Ward, Alicia Glenn, Candace Davis, Jay Sheed, Jason Crutchfield, Mike Perna, Todd Turner, John Jacobs, Zach Harris, Caleb Grimm, Jeanette Skaggs, Jason Bullock, Christina Ray, Sarah Lewis, Patrick Gale, Rebecca Godlove, and Adam Davis. Thank you all for the way that you support and that you encourage and you help make Faith and Fandom possible in public places. Just had our last show for a month last weekend with Vertical Minicon. The next show that we'll be doing will be October 5th in Boone, North Carolina. And then the show after that will be Fayetteville Comic Con for their potential last con. I don't have anything past Fayetteville Comic Con, um, but I'm sure there'll be something. I've been trying to get through what's ahead of me without adding more to it, but I can't sit still, so we'll find a show somewhere, do something. Thank you for taking the time to listen, to encourage, and I hope y'all have a great week. And remember, you matter. Your story matters. God loves you. He's a fan of you. He created you with a purpose, and you are not alone. So don't forget those things. They're important. And I hope that this can be a good and encouraging week for you. And also be careful not to let some small moments ruin your take the whole precedent of your day. I'm really bad for that, where I'll let a moment be change the whole outcome of my day, when really a bad 45 seconds doesn't change the other 23 hours and 15 seconds. So, Lynn, you're very welcome. Parrish, God bless you as well. And I will see y'all at a con soon, hopefully. Bye. Boop, as soon as I hit the button. Stop that.